do a 15-minute presentation, and we do it live across LinkedIn and Facebook. It's also recorded, so people can watch it afterwards. It's all this is done automatically through a system that we use. And we steer away from having presentations in our networking events. And this is the opportunity for our members to come and present about who they are, what they do, and how they help their clients. They get 15 minutes to do so. And like I say, because we do it live, it means that you, the viewers, can add comments to the chat, and we then introduce those into the chat show for our members to answer those questions. And on the show today, we have Jackie. Jackie, how are you?
I'm good, Bobby. How are you going?
I'm good. And do you want to do a bit of an intro about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Jackie at Cred. So we help people get win awards, earn grant money, and support their business by attracting new clients through quality copywriting.
Beautiful. And what are you going to be talking about today?
How businesses can win an award for their brand and why it matters.
Yeah, cool, exciting. And we also have Carmel. Carmel, how are you today?
Very well, Bobby. How are you?
Good, good. Feels like a Wednesday, but it's not. It's a Tuesday, so one of those crazy weeks. I don't know what's going on. And do you want to do a bit of intro about yourself? Tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Carmel Brown, director of the Proven Group. We're quite often described as your one-stop people shop. So we work with businesses, anything like people and culture, and engaging and productive teams. What we do.
Excellent. And a beautiful new background. We were just talking.
Yes, wore it just for you today, Bobby.
And thanks. So kind. And Jackie, I just noticed your background at the back. I didn't realise you had family photos. That's so clever. Like so cool. That little personal touch. Love it. Anyway, so guys, we're going to jump straight into Jackie's presentation. And whenever you're ready, you can just share the screen and take it away when you are ready, my friend.
That sounds good. My computer decided to do a complete restart on one of the screens, so it's for the screen at the moment. But while that's doing that, I wanted to talk a little bit about award submissions. That's my favorite part of my entire business, is helping businesses earn the credibility and the recognition from their peers through awards. And it has come up, so I'm going to bring up my screen now so you can have a look at a few bits and pieces. I'm going to hit let me just find the share screen section, and then we'll get that happening. Here we go. Has anyone here gone for awards? Bobby, I think you have, haven't you? I know you have.
Maybe. I don't know who did that one, Jackie.
No.
I have, and I know Carmel has as well. And you know, being biased, Jackie did help me with that application. And if you're not a wordsmith, I'm not great with words. I'm very kind of like sentence bullet points to the point. And sometimes you need a bit more than that in an award when you're doing an application. So to use somebody like yourself, Jackie, to be able to write exactly what I want to say and to take those words out of my head, it was such an easy process to use. But I'm going to leave it to you to tell us how great you are at doing that. And whenever you're ready, my friend.
Okay, so you can see my screen now, I imagine.
Yeah, all good.
So this is really about taking your brand to that next level. In industry recognition adds third-party endorsement, and it really creates that opportunity to connect an audience member with your brand very fast. So a little bit about us. We, as I said, we're a small business firm. We offer strategic thinking, persuasive marketing, and journalistic integrity through our copywriting. So everything's high quality. Our success rate for taking clients through to the finalist and into winner stage is more than 90%. So for most of our award submissions go through to that. Something that, while we can't control an outcome for an award submission, our brand, if somebody doesn't make it to that finalist, we really value the work that's already been done from that client. So we repurpose any of the copy that we've done for the award submission and give them an article to share with their audience. So it might be a blog or a newsletter article or something on LinkedIn. So we really value that and want to make sure that they're still getting that return on in their investment. But as I said, more than 90% go through to that finalist stage. And this is what I want to explain, I guess, how that actually happens. The first thing that I hear a lot of people say to me is, why bother entering? You know, it takes a lot of time. Is it really just a big competition? Is it just a big thing for votes? And I want to explain to you a little bit about what I've seen with my clients. The exposure that can generate from an award is incredible. You can get local industry, you can get local media PR, industry PR, your social media, you can really talk to that and people resonate with it. People really want to celebrate that win with you. So it's highly important from an exposure point of view, but it also opens opportunities for new business. the fact that you've got an award recognition to your name adds that credibility, and people automatically want to start talking to you because you've got that endorsement from an industry body. So that, and I've seen that time and time again with my clients, opening those new doors. It builds credibility and trust. It's somebody else of authority giving you a stamp of approval, and that's really important. It's better than you saying, hey, we're great. It's someone else saying you're great. And it opens up, once you've got that award recognition, you can knock on doors and say, hey, can I be a speaker? Can I be a panelist? Can I be an MC? That credibility really goes a long way when you win an award. And the final thing is, and Bobby would love this, is you can attract and retain great staff. It really does work for team morale. People want to work for an organization that's doing good things, that's getting industry recognition. So you can really attract quality team members and retain them through that as well. This is the other reason why I've got a few testimonials there, but essentially it feels good to win an award. It feels great to have that industry recognition to say, hey, you did good work, you deserve some industry recognition, whether you're a finalist or a winner, it all matters. So there's a real good buzz when you start going for awards and start winning that recognition. But I want to tell you how you can get there, and that's through my 5 stages. That's strategizing. You've really got to know what award to go for and why, and I'll explain that in a second. You've got to plan your writing. It doesn't just all come about and you enter overnight. Although I've had a couple of late night turnarounds for clients, but you really should be planning your awards, researching and writing and submitting. So it's a process to win an award. So the first one is to strategize your entry. Don't just go for it for the sake of going for an award. Have a plan of attack for your 12 months on which ones you want to go for. And the way you can find that out is, why do you want to enter an award? Is it to gain new staff and attract staff? In which case, what is going to resonate with them? Do you want to go for salesperson of the year? Do you want to go for marketing campaign of the year? Do you want to be known for your customer service? So you've really got to understand what you want to be known for and why you want to enter. Who do you want to attract with this? Quite often, for an example, I had a skincare client once, and they were looking at what categories to go for in their business, and they were thinking of going for a marketing campaign because they'd done a big rebrand and all of that sort of thing. But when we took a step back and realized who do we want to know about our award, it was the end consumer, and the end consumer doesn't care about marketing. Somebody else in the marketing world or in the business world would care about that. The end consumer wants innovation, wants something different. So we went for the innovation award instead, and the brand won it. So to step back and think about why and what you're going to apply for is really important. There's different, again, there's things like Osmompreneur out there. There's so many businesses or so many organizations running events, running awards. So it's really important to not do a scattergun approach and really understand which ones you are going to go for, because they are a huge investment in your time, or if you outsource it, in your money. So make sure they're the ones that you really want to go for. That's the first step. The second one is to start planning the document. Once you've got your criteria and everything's there, I've got 3 stages for this. 1, reverse engineer your timeline. So wherever it's due, start going back so you can work out when the first draft is due, when you've got to do a revision. Don't just say, okay, I'm going to start writing now, because you will have different iterations throughout the process of pulling it together. Most awards now you apply online through a portal. Take all those questions offline and populate them offline before you put them into the portal. If you type straight into the portal and press enter, you've lost your submission. You're not going to have that back again. So you need that copy so that you can repurpose it and use and go for future awards. And then when you're doing it, I always recommend doing a big dump of the questions first. So find copy that you've written before, find things on your website, look for newsletters, look for social media posts you've done, and throw all that in the relevant questions. And then you'll have some content to start massaging. And if you're missing some gaps, it's a good spot there to start looking for those. And then you can start massaging and creating a document from there. I also recommend researching as well. So in award submissions, while you don't know who your competition is for that campaign or that particular year, you can go back and find out who won last year and the year before and the year before that, and look online. There's so many news articles these days, or the award bodies themselves post who their winners were. See what sort of things you can find, because if you can match that quality, then you can get yourself up in that finalist stage. And then just gather all the resources you need. Quite often there's opportunities to submit videos, to submit testimonials. Gather all that at the time as well. You don't want to be the last second realizing that they're available to send through and you don't have what you need. And they do count towards the quality of your submission. And the biggest part is obviously writing your submission. I do coaching, so we do done with you and done for you for award submissions. And so some of the things that come in from a coaching point of view, I see these kind of top 3 things. People forget that the judges know nothing about you. So you really have to start from scratch and explain who you are and who you service and what you do, to give them that grounding on what they're going to be reading next. If you don't do that, they're not going to have that context, and they're not going to have the rapport with you either. So it's really important to remember to kind of be very clear and concise and tell them who you are. And these are the things I think great entries have. They showcase your purpose. They demonstrate you overcoming some sort of adversity, so a challenge of some sort. Not everything runs smooth sailing from A to Z. So explain some of the things that came up through your campaign or through the year that's been, and how you overcome those, because that's really important. Proving your success with evidence. So that can be testimonials, it can be metrics from social media analytics, it can be open rates from newsletters, it can be engagement surveys from staff. So anything that you can have quantitative metrics are really important, but the qualitative stuff as well. As I said, testimonials work, your retention rate for staff, all of that counts as evidence. And pull at the heartstrings a little bit. There's a judge, a person on the other side of that award who's rooting for you to win. So tap into that emotion of them and pull at the heartstrings. So it could be that who you've had impact with from a client's point of view, some of the struggles that you've had internally and how you've overcome those. People really barrack for that. And you want to influence the judges to feel proud of you because of all that work and all those challenges that you've overcome. So it's a real balance of everything when you're pulling an award submission together. And some of the top things that businesses really value, which I recommend focusing on to get you to make sure the buzzwords are coming through, are things like culture, innovation, technology, measurement, customer solutions. They're kind of the buzzwords in the industry. So if you're talking to some of those points, people are going to realize that you have strategy. And then a few other things are just to establish your hook. Find a story that you can weave throughout your narrative. So don't just make it all about the data. Find that impact and find that personal side of it. Write in the inverted pyramid style as well. So if anyone's done started a journalism degree or done some subjects in that space, you'll know what the inverted pyramid style, but basically it's the opposite way to traditional storytelling, where you start slow and you build up and there's a crescendo at the end. This flips it on its head like a journalist would in a newspaper article and says everything up front, the top news up front, and then they build the supporting structure around it with all the details. And then the little bits of information at the bottom that you don't really need to know. If you didn't see it, it wouldn't matter, but they're the things that you can add at the bottom of the story that might relate. So write in that style, because the panelists of a judging panel, they're busy, they're reading 20, 30, 40 submissions in the same category. They're not going to read every single word, I promise you that. So make sure the top things are in the very front, that they can, so you can get that impact through. And write in plain English. Some of the things that I see are trying to be too sophisticated, too polished, too corporate. You know, somebody's reading this, and again, you want to bring it and tug at the heartstrings. So write in plain English and do the editing later. You know, you can swap some words out later on to bring it up a little bit, but just write in plain English first and foremost. I just wanted to show you a really quick example of something that came through to me as one of my coaching clients. And it's a typical question that gets asked, and I just wanted to show you what we do in our coaching sessions to give feedback to our clients. So this was what makes your business unique or special. So if I was doing this, I would highlight unique and special, so I know that that's constantly what I got to refer to. But you can see the very first one is a very long sentence. There's no punctuation. Some of the words are incorrect. So straight away, I would be turned off as a judge because I hadn't been able to relate to that sentence or that copy. The next part talks about measurable KPIs to achieve return. that is not unique or special. That's an expectation of businesses. So that's not something that I would be highlighting in this particular question. The blue section, the smaller blue section, again, poor punctuation and grammar, again, you're going to lose your audience. And while not everyone's a writer, the people who read can get very frustrated that it's not correct. And then finally, down the bottom is a great piece of information. This client has done a collaborative of people to help small businesses and done a whole bunch of resources and webinars. That is the lead. That is what makes this brand unique or special. So that should be up the top and everything should support that. And then, so go back to the inverted pyramid style. So it's just an example of what we do in our coaching sessions to show people how to restructure, reframe their questions to get a better rapport with the judge. And finally, get to submit your entry. So as I said, most of them are online. Always give yourself plenty of time in case things go wrong. Proofread your document before you hit upload and just do another final check over everything. You can also do things like bold and italics. So I always recommend playing with the format a little bit in those so you can really have some certain lines stand out with the judges. And then you celebrate. And that's kind of how we work with our clients. As I said, if people don't make a finalist, we always make sure we repurpose that content. And I would recommend that for anybody doing their own award submissions. Repurpose what you've written. It's great content. You've done the work. So share that beyond just the client judges. So that's everything for me. Does anyone have any questions from that perspective?
I've got plenty of questions, and there was one point in there that you mentioned about networking and how having being even just a finalist, never mind a winner. So I can only imagine the power that would bring you. My coach turned around to me when I was made the finalist of the Small Business Champions Award in 21, I think it was, that he said, now when they release all the finalists, you now go and speak to all of those finalists and say, you're also a finalist. Because it's an easy way in for you, especially to do recruitment. So all those companies, in theory, were going to need help hiring staff. And so that's what I did. When they launched all of the finalists on their website, I went through every one of them. I contacted every one of them and said, I'm also an award finalist as well. I want to congratulate you. And that was another 30 to 40 businesses across all those awards that I could connect with, which I wouldn't have done previously. So it can really help. Carmel, do you have any questions before I go through mine?
Oh, not necessarily questions, but definitely comments. Can certainly resonate with everything you said, Jackie. We've been in numerous awards, and we only just updated ours last year because the last lot was 2019. Then we thought we'd have a year off, and of course COVID hit, so we didn't yet. So we just wanted to update them. But everything you've said, I totally have been through it and understand it, and it'd be great to have someone like you in a business owner's corner. Sometimes you can be too close to what you're writing, and everything seems important. So to get that, I suppose that newsworthy story line, I think would need a little bit of teasing sometimes. And what you just said, Bobby, then I'll pass back over to you, is that we did exactly the same in the awards that we were finalists in. We sent them all a congratulations letter and a copy of the book that I wrote, and just to say, hey, yeah, we're a finalist, and or winner, depending on which one it was. Congratulations. So it's a great way to build relationships. So second that too, Bobby. So well done, Jackie. That was really good.
Thank you. They're motivated businesses too because they're going for awards. So they have a different level of maturity in their business that you can connect with as well, which, it just adds that extra layer. Well done. Yeah.
Thank you.
And also you get to go to a great party. Normally, I didn't get to go to it because of COVID, but normally you go to a great, sometimes we don't go out and do enough things like that as business owners because we just head down, and it gives you a good opportunity to go out there and network and have fun and be allowed to go and brag about your brand, because we always get told sometimes, hey, it's not always about you, it's got to be about the client, it's got to be how you help your client. Well, sometimes it's, hey, I work my ass off, I'm going to show off, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to try not drink so much, but go and eat some nice food and have a party.
Just on that, I love the text that I get from clients on the night when they're at the award submission. I'm just kind of sitting back waiting, and then I get this drinks and they've won the award. I get this woo message through and lots of exclamation points and emojis and so forth. So it's a great vibe.
Yeah.
So Jackie, you do this for a lot of industries. Is there any industry that you haven't worked with that you would like to help, that you would really like to get your teeth into?
Oh, that's interesting. I have worked with a lot of industries. I probably want to do a little bit more in the aged care space. I think in that allied health. I think there's something around that. They do good work and they're so resource poor that they're probably not going for as many awards as they should be. So that's probably an area that would be fun to do a little bit more in.
And it's a massive industry right now. It's going to be, well, it's never going to go away, is it? We're all getting older, so it's going to be around. What top 3 awards are there out there? People don't know about them. What would you say the top 3? Obviously, we've got industry awards, but just the generalized awards. What are the top 3 you would say people should go for or look at?
Look, I couldn't give you the top 3 that anyone could go for because they are so varied and so different. But for more generalist businesses, there's the Small Business Champions Awards. There's a women's version of that, the one that you went for, Bobby. There are so many different industry awards. I would start with industry awards because they're more niche. You're benchmarking yourself against other brands in your industry. So that's the first thing I would look for. But then there are a number of generalist awards to go for. One recommendation on that is to sign up to my Australian Business Awards Hub Facebook group, because we have over 270 awards that we post all year long. And then there's a free ebook on my website, www.copycred.com.au, and you can grab a free book with 110 business awards in there. So that's the first place I would start. You can go find your top 3 there.
Is there any award that you shouldn't go for on the reverse of that? Is there anything that could do you more damage than good?
Look, I don't know about more damage than good, but go back to that point, that very first point about having a strategy. So it's got to fit with your strategy. For example, I was nominated this year for the Mumpreneur, the Oz Mumpreneur Awards. That's not part of my strategy this year. I don't want to be going for that particular award category or anything in that. So I didn't, because if I had that nomination, which I did, I could have gone ahead and done that process. I decided my investment and my time to write my awards is going to be better spent somewhere else. So know your strategy before you decide what's not going for. The ones that I always recommend staying away from are the ones that have peer voting. I think they're just a big competition for brands to go get as many likes as they can through whatever tactics they can get those likes. So I'm a little bit skeptical of those ones. I like the ones that have an actual judging panel that have been vetted to get that credibility.
And you mentioned about nominations then, and there are awards that you can self-nominate, I would imagine, and there's also awards where you have to be nominated by somebody else. Is that right?
Yeah, most of the time you can self-nominate. There's probably a few out there that still require just a nomination, but most of them you can either self-nominate or be nominated. I've been nominated several times, but I choose the ones that I go for, and yeah, you can absolutely self-nominate.
And just before we wrap up, you mentioned obviously you have a service that is kind of like a support service where you support someone through it, or you can do it all for them, but you're not just about awards. What can you give us an idea what else you do?
Oh, absolutely. Submission writing is awards, grants, and tenders. So we help businesses grow that way. But we also do general copywriting, where we write a lot of website marketing or a lot of website copy, newsletter copy, everything that's writing that needs to be on paper or on a screen, I should say, we can do.
Cool, brilliant. Jackie, you can reach out to Jackie by either messaging through the video, or you can reach out to myself. But both of Jackie and Carmel are on LinkedIn. You can search their names, but if you needed an introduction from me, I can do that for you. But Jackie, thanks for jumping on and sharing your wisdom and knowledge around what you do. And I hope everyone who's watching this, either on the live or on the recording, can take that into account and go out there, be brave. It's a cool thing to do, to be able to go and do it and be able to be, talk about it and success and have a little logo. I don't have it on here now because it's a bit old, but it was great to have it, and it was a great talking point because people saw it and wanted to know what it was about. And when I told them, it seals a deal sometimes because they understand that you're the real deal. Thank you so much for not only coming onto the show and talking about what you do, but for also being part of Bobby's Business Club and all your support there. And now we're going to go over to Carmel. Carmel, whenever you're ready, if you need to share the screen, you can, and you can take it away.
No worries. Thanks very much. And thanks again, Jackie. It was really, I love listening to you. You could probably go for another 15 minutes. So, you've got so much to tell, and what the satisfaction that you would get. Because I used to but it's like getting somebody to an interview. So you get their award, like their application over the line, and it's their job to get the job. So it's their job to win the award, if that makes sense. So from where I sit in that career space, that's how I relate it. So I think it'd be pretty cool. Anywho's, I'll move on, but I just wanted to mention that. So I'm just going to share my screen. If I do now from the beginning, does that change? Yes. Can you see that now?
You're in, you need to go to, click on from the beginning, go to the left-hand side.
I did.
You're in, I can see all your slides on the left-hand side of your page. So you need to click on from beginning, or else it's just going to see, or we're going to see all of your slides.
Right. Well, just bear with me a second. That's why it's all, you know, the technology of all this.
There's nothing worse than trying to share a presentation. It's like, oh, which screen is it on? Is it in the right mode? Is it even sharing?
That's it. So that's why you actually wonder why you actually do even want to share your screen.
Whoever can create a part of Zoom that allows you to share a screen without showing everything you're trying to do in the background would be great. Because like, oh, where's the page gone? That's effectively how it's.
All right, I'll share this and see if this works.
Yeah, no, you're in the, you need to go to the top and it's got display settings. The middle one, where it says can you see where it says display settings? Are you on two pages? Sorry, two screens. I think because what happened then, you had your presentation and then you had presenter mode. So again, we could see all the other slides and not the
Oh, goodness me.
It's okay.
I think that I will, now I just can't even get out of, oh yeah. Okay, so what do I do now, Bobby? My 15 minutes will be up by the time I get my...
No, you're all good, you've got plenty of time. Just, if you want to share your screen again so I can see, it's all good.
Maybe I should have just got someone to do it in Canva for me. Maybe that would have worked. Instead of actually on,
we can see it.
Instead of on
you can see it,
PowerPoint.
it's just in the wrong format at all.
So if I share that now what would you like me to do?
Like in the top left-hand side, you've got we've got from beginning, click on that. And I've got it's got a little wheel, and I'm assuming it's going to do something.
Oh, it has my end.
Have you got
That
two?
was like an award photo there, Carmel.
I do. That was a nice segue in.
Yeah, it was a great segue. So on your screen, can you see your normal presentation? And only the one slide, because we can see all the other slides down the side.
Okay, well, I'm just going to have to leave it like that.
Go for it. You go like that. You go for it.
I don't know how else to do it. I'm terribly sorry, but don't look to the left then.
Can you just move to the next? I want to see how you're going to move to the next slide.
Did that change?
No. See, that was my concern, but you're not going to go to the next slide.
Oh,
Wow.
Weird. Okay, so I got an idea. So on the main presentation, go back if you have to share it again. I know it's pain, I know it feels like, but honestly, do not worry about it. Just share the screen.
What if I just actually do? Can't you just share your whole?
That's what we're trying to do, but you need to. I think you need to turn presenter mode off. So if you want to share the screen again on that same one that you had. And then if you click on the first slide at the top, click on the blue one, the very first slide. And then on the where you've got from beginning, from current slide, and you go all the way across. So you've got use presenter view, and it's got automatic underneath it. Keep going right, all the way right. Keep going, stop.
Oh.
And when you've got use presenter view, unclick
turn that off.
Yep.
Untick it.
Yeah.
Untick it, yeah.
Yeah, now click from beginning. Try again from beginning.
Wow.
Maybe not. Weird. Because
from beginning.
Yeah.
Can you click on the second slide now just to see if we can see that?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like it's frozen.
Yeah, so weird.
Times like this, you wish things weren't live, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Can you see that screen change?
Yeah, you can go through it now. Yeah. It's just
All right. Well, let's just do it this.
Is that?
That's it.
We just won't worry about the whole thing. Like, I'll just do it like this. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you just click on each slide when you want to move, though. That's all.
Excellent. Right. No worries. I've got 4 minutes left to talk.
You've got still plenty of time. You've got this. I know.
Thank you for
this
your
like
patience.
the back of your hand.
We'll work out something for next time I've got to do this. Not sure why it wouldn't work. Anyway, So yeah, that was a nice segue, Jackie, into that was our last awards that we were at. So that was, I didn't actually think about that before coming on, but it worked out well. So as I mentioned before, with the Proven Group, we're all about people, culture, teams, engagement, and productivity. And the key word being productivity at the moment. That's the biggest buzzword that's going around. It still is retaining staff and retention, but productivity is way up there. So what I wanted to do is just briefly introduce you to the TPG, the People and Culture team. And then I wanted to just step through as well. And normally I have the wheel everywhere I go. If people see me on the screen, I'll always have this wheel behind me, but I've got a new uniform today, which Lisa, one of our training facilitators, put together. And we always talk about with the wheel, because we specialise in so many different areas. There are 7 pillars of the business with an 8th one on the way. Sounds like having another baby, and it's certainly going to be like that, I think. So it's just centralising all your people and culture needs in one trusted partner, because the expertise that we have throughout the team and throughout the country, and even internationally, is we're very blessed to have everybody that we do have, but their expertise and knowledge is how we're able to help businesses the way that we do. This next slide's really interesting, but I wanted to share it with you because it's okay for me to talk about productivity and engagement. And, you know, some people might think, what do I know? So I wanted to share it through a couple of stories through our clients' eyes and how we work with our clients. But I also really wanted to share with you how we even do it at the Proven Group as well. So there'll be hints, tips, few little secrets and some hidden gems that I wanted to give away today. As HR specialists ourselves, we actually do a really, we call it a revolutionary idea, is that we actually implement everything that we train our clients to do. And you know what? It actually works. So it's pretty cool. So that's why I thought I'd share with you how it actually looks when you implement what we teach. What this here is called inclusive pods. So we don't have your traditional organisational chart. You'll hear me say TPG, it's a bit shorter than the Proven Group. And the reason that we don't is because myself as director and then Belinda as CEO and then everybody else, it's not a hierarchy. We all work together. We're all one team. And for so long, there's been this employer and employee adversarial relationship, which really gets to me because we actually all need each other. So I don't know why. But anyway, so in the middle there, you do have the Proven Group, which is Belinda and I in the middle. Then as you'll see, all those pods that go out there, they're actually the wheel. So the people, the culture, safety, professional development. That's really what I want to talk about in a minute. Wellbeing is a very big space that we work in, workplace wellbeing. Careers, that's how the business was born 12 and a half years ago. So that's still my little baby. QAAS, you guys are probably the first to see this. It will be quality as a system is what it stands for, which I'll talk about another day when I've actually got my presentation on Canva and I'm good to go. Corporate services and then our international partnerships as well. Also, to add a little bit of credibility, talking about probably leveraging from what you spoke about, Jackie, as well, is that I wanted to talk about, I don't even know if I've shared this with you yet, Bobby, and you're the first to know everything that I do. Last month, we were actually certified as a great place to work. So it's a bit like that as you'll hear that employer of choice. How we attained that was just not by writing to someone to say, hey, we are really good. Can we please be accredited for that? It was the team actually had to all fill out a survey. The pass mark is 75%. And we got 96. So very, very happy with that and very impressed that that's how our team feels as well. So as I said, today I want to talk to you about practical professional development, which is another business which is powered by the Proven Group. Because of its, when I introduce you to the team next, it's worthy of its own brand, it's worthy of its own name. Because it's such a massive part of the business now. They're some of our training facilitator extraordinaires is what we call them, because that's exactly what they are. And together with them, we were able to put together, which was supposed to be a brochure or a flyer, we thought we'd pop together to let businesses around the country know what we do train in particular, the Franchise Council of Australia. But it ended up being a 304-page catalogue with over 150 courses, with over 35 trainers contributing everything that they're able to share and teach organisations. So it's available in that actual old-fashioned hard copy that sits on the HR manager's desk when everyone comes up and says, I want to do this course. Here you go and have a read. And it's also the digital version as well, which I'll share with you at the end, how you can get a copy of that. There's 8 faculties in the Practical Professional Development catalogue. So we've got leadership and management, human resources, health, safety and wellness, productivity, there it is again, communication, career development, personal development and business growth. But what I wanted to step you through is, so all this looks good and there's all the pretty colours, the graphics are awesome, there's even some avatars of the team, there's some great quotes, great pictures that our Jenny Boymel picked out. But I didn't want it to be like a kid in a candy store and going and thinking, oh, look at all this we can choose from, look at all these courses, this one sounds so good, this one interests me. What I actually do with clients is that, once again, it's another revolutionary idea we have, is that we think, how about align the training to the business? So we want to look at where the business is now, where does the business want to be, and what are the actual gaps? So if you remember anything I say today, what I want you to remember is that our trained facilitators, they work with you and your team, but we link your training dollar spend to your actual business goals. And how we do that is that when I work with clients, I step them through, when I say this simple roadmap, this is actually like a 3-day process with an executive report presented to the leadership team, but you've got to start somewhere. And there's a survey that goes to each individual in the organisation. What do they need? What are they missing? And then the survey will be done also on the whole organisation. And that's how you identify the gaps of where the team is and where the organisation wants to be. Not picking out your favourite colour of the faculty or the favourite topic, or like one of our really popular courses at the moment is our AI course. So AI is so much more than ChatGPT, but a lot of people don't realise that. We actually have a course about it. Goes for 2 days. So it's all about speaking with them about project frameworks, assess it, look at the goals, the objectives, the initial needs, and who are your stakeholders? There are actually 6 stakeholders in every business. A lot of people just think it's their clients, but it's not. Even your team are your stakeholder, your customers, your suppliers. Then we've got to start to make then some decisions and priorities, or set the priorities. What does a timeline look like? Communicate the plan. That's another beautiful thing. We actually have a whole faculty on communication, because we never go into an organisation and people say, we get told everything. We know everything that's going on. We don't have one question. So we thought we'd have a whole, courses about that too. And then rolling it out, because it must be communicated and rolled out clearly. Otherwise you won't have your team on board. So from the surveys, we then launch the data collection, once again, communicate that plan and the survey tools, and then collect more data. Then, as I mentioned before, we link the business to the actual training, the business strategy to the training strategy, the overall strategy of the organisation. The reason we do the presentation at the end is because there's the written word, not your written word, of course, Jackie, but the written word is not strong enough when you want to present a report like this. It needs to actually be presented and spoken to. And then we can then review the plan with the executive team, adjust it wherever it needs, and let's get going on it. So I just really wanted to step through that it's not a matter of here's the catalogue, click on the link, here's the pictures, pick it up or read each course. It's about really identifying what you actually need. So how you can get a copy of the digital catalogue, if you do go to the website and under the training tab, you'll find a tab that says Explore Training Catalogue. Click on that. You'll be asked just to enter in your basic details here, and then you'll be able to have a look at the digital copy. It's really cool, even if you want to have a look at it and listen to the pages turn. That's what was my only request, that it's got to look good, but when they turn the pages, you've got to actually hear the page turn. And the reason we've done a digital copy as well, just before I finish up, is because a lot of you probably have heard of AIMS, or the Australian Institute of Management. They have a digital copy. As far as we know, they're the only ones that do. Everyone says, AIM's good, and it's okay. And that's fantastic. But in our world, we find that, if something's good, we actually find that's the enemy of great, and we actually want to be great. So we're letting them know we're going to go into a little bit of competition with them over the next couple of years. And so people can have a look at the courses that we offer. And I want to finish off with a quote, like I always like to. And today I'm going to, if it's a quick fix, it's neither. And what that means is, if it's quick and you're only just fixing it, we don't provide a Band-Aid treatment. We actually work with organisations with like on a long-term plan for as little or as much as they need us. So you can invest in your people, and the training that they do, it doesn't become a certificate that hangs on the wall. It is actionable learning, and that's even the tagline of PPD, actionable learning with proven results. So thank you for listening, and thank you for your patience with my screen.
Do you have a training in there for Zoom, how to share your screen?
I'm going to ask. No,
I'm not joking. I'm just thinking, hey, that could be. This is what's amazing about business, is you can go and do something and you go, oh, that was rubbish. And then we see so many inventions made. Oh, I don't like the kettle, or don't like the vacuum. And then if someone goes and creates a new vacuum or whatever. Yeah. And so these little things you go through and go, oh, well, if I struggle to do that, then there's that. Yeah. So it was a serious question. It wasn't meant to be like,
but it's funny you say that, because we do have training there for Teams.
Oh, there you go. So you need to do one on Zoom as well.
Just don't have Zoom. Yeah.
Jackie, do you have any questions before I fire away? Are you on mute? No, I'm assuming that was a no.
I love that presentation, Carl. I love hearing from you. My question is around the size of the business that you work with. So for these training in these courses, do you have a minimum, is it 1 employee, minimum 10, is there a minimum of that to understand your target market?
Yep, great question, Jackie. To answer that, because we even run, for example, computer courses that are in the catalogue. So there's your basic, intermediate and advanced. So we can train one person in one organisation if they want to learn about Excel, for example. When we're working with teams, our ideal market is like 20 to 50, but we work with lots now, especially in the franchise space, where they've actually got hundreds in the team. And then it's about breaking it down and working with each department, and then working with the heads of those departments as well to bring it all together. Yeah. So we can, not that we're going to be, everything to everyone. I know you can't be, but because of the courses that we do run, depending on somebody, what they actually need, we do have a diverse team and around the country. And even our international clients as well, we're able to do a lot of training online on Zoom with them.
And I imagine then a lot of people can get professional the CPD points through the courses that they do with you. Is that correct?
That is exactly right, Jackie. So especially in the franchise space, so that they're required to earn points every 2 years. And with our courses that we have they're called the CFE, which is a Certified Franchise Executive Program. Our courses are worth 500 points each. So it's a nice chunk out of the over the 2,000 that they've got to earn. So it makes it very attractive.
Okay, great. I'm downloading the course catalogue as we speak.
Absolutely correct answer. Thank you.
You wait to hear that page turning over. Oh, it's beautiful. Honestly.
It'll change your life, Jackie. You won't be the same after it.
Exactly. I have a question for you. Why is training important?
Important is because apart from staff feel valued, you're investing in them, you're upskilling them. The amount of money you can save by trying to upskill a team member, as opposed to thinking, oh, they can't do their job, I'm just going to go and hire someone else. First of all, they probably won't find anybody else. And if they do, are they the right fit? All of that then changes, the dynamics change. And there's so much restructuring going on in businesses at the moment, especially now with all the wage rises and every other rise that's amplified on the news every night. but there's a lot of restructure going on in businesses. And to be able to restructure properly, look at the gaps. That's why I call that a T&A roadmap, so training needs assessment. What does the organisation need? What are you missing? Because that's where then there's probably lack of productivity. Where there's lack of productivity, there's lack of engagement. You've got the team there and you're paying them. So why not pay them to do what they are good at? And they'll give you more and you don't have to pay them more. And that's a whole nother conversation for another day, but we even have a formula for performance. And it's all about role clarity, ability, environment, motivation. If you don't have all of them, you are going to have performance issues.
Interesting, isn't it? And I know that your CEO has a wonderful saying about training. Do you remember what it is? I can tell you what it is if you want.
Oh, she has quite a few.
I
know she says we. I know she says. Oh yeah, that one. I was going to say. I know she says we work with people because they're easy. She says that. Yeah, she does. Yep, exactly. Because it's normally the processes in a business that aren't. That's why she says that. But that's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. What if we train them and they leave?
Yeah.
And then what if we don't and they stay?
Mm-hmm. And that's what we've got to do. We've got to look at our own businesses, and if we need people to do something, we've got to show them how to do it and train them. And if it's something that we don't know how to do or they don't know how to do, then we've got to find someone to do it for us. And
I should have finished off with our avatars.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to go and find it because I won't be able to share it, so don't worry. I'll do it next time.
That's it. Does the training that you provide, does that kind of cover all industries to a certain level?
Yes. If it's anything to do with people and what they call soft skills are the hardest skills. Don't even know why they call them soft skills. Somebody mentioned the other day, I think, is it Simon Sinek? He's calling them human skills. So anything around soft skills is in the catalogue, and that's what we do actually train on. So to answer your question, it would be yes. Short answer, yes.
Isn't it interesting how over time things change? Like everything changes, even the names of things. So like in my day, HR is human resources, but that's changing now. It's people and culture. Like you just mentioned it then. Like
it used to be a real corporate type of term, to be honest. So we used to call it human resources, to look after the little guys. But because where it's changing, Bobby, is that it's definitely about people and culture. So we're actually using the words literally. We're just not using the title. Because if you've got a good culture, I'll always say it, you might have a happy team, but it doesn't mean you've got a good culture. So that's why, and once again, I could talk about that for hours, but that's why, it's about people and culture. If you get that right, and then with the training, and one thing I didn't actually mention, when we do that T&A, the training needs analysis, the investment that a company will put into that to have all the work done, the surveys, the report, we then credit that back to them for one person to attend our signature program, which is our leadership and management program. So they invest in the work to be done, but then we give it back by bringing someone on board to actually say, here you go, this is just a taste of what our team can deliver, especially in the leadership and management space.
Cool. And I remember through the slides, I did see some other Bobby's Business Club members on one of your slides, and I just wanted to talk about that for a second. And it's I'm trying to put this in the right way, but just because we have all this knowledge and skills as a business owner doesn't mean that we have to do everything. And so we have to trust the team around us. And if that team is also part of our network, and this is why it's important that you network, because you can find amazing people who can help your clients. And that's what you need to be able to do. And so by going to networking events, having one-to-ones, meeting with people, you're going to be able to build that trust and that relationship. For someone like Carmel to turn around to you and go, hey, we've got a training course that's to do with, say if it's for me, recruitment as an example, we want someone to go and train this client on how to recruit. She could then come to me because I'm part of her network and go, can you help with this course? Doesn't mean that, it doesn't take any value away from the proven group. If anything, it adds value, because everyone has skills that we can't just employ everybody, or else your wage bill will be huge, Carmel. I know you've got a lot of people, but if you keep that down. So it's important that you go network, you go and connect with great people, and especially let's say that you do see that slide and you think I can add value to the Proven Group as a trainer, then you need to go and network with Carmel. You need to go and have a one-to-one with Carmel. You need to go and show her that you can show up to Carmel so that she can trust you if she provides you with an opportunity to go and do some training for the Proven Group.
Yeah. It's that collaborative mindset. You're exactly right. And with if the whole team around, there's close to 50 of us now, we didn't recruit one of them. I met them all through some sort of networking, or someone's introduced me to someone that come with that credibility and that collaborative mindset. So you are exactly right. Like we always say, why don't we just all work together, grow the pie? There's plenty of work for everybody, and don't fight over the crumbs. That's what we do. That's what we do.
That's it. And it's, business is expensive and employing people is expensive. So we can use other people's skills and everyone wins in that situation. The Proven Group wins, the trainer wins, the client wins. There's no, why wouldn't you want to do that? So go out there and collaborate, go and connect, and you can help each other. Networking is such a beautiful thing. You never know when that certain introduction will happen. I did an introduction to Jackie. I was cruising through some Facebook pages and somebody had said something that I knew Jackie could do. So you just never know when it's going to happen. So the good thing about networking is that if you do it well and you have a really large range of people and industries, you can help so many people. You're not only just helping Jackie with that referral and she's going to get a bit of money from it, but she's also then going to help that person. The end result is to help that person, and that's what it's all about. But Jackie, Carmel, please do stay on for 5 minutes. But guys, thank you for watching. If you're watching this live, thank you so much. If you're watching the recording, and again, if you want to connect with these guys, you can do through LinkedIn, or you can reach out to myself. And they're all part of Bobby's Business Club. We are a networking group that we are online at the moment. We meet every fortnight for 1 hour. We save you a lot of time. And we just do a really quick meeting where you can introduce yourself to the guests that come along and also tell us a bit more about what's going on in your week. We also do really cool things like posting parties on LinkedIn and Facebook. It's another way of networking. It's another way of getting your content seen by more and more people. And you're guaranteed to have people read it, because sometimes people don't. But this is a safe environment for you to come and test your posts out and get confident of providing content on LinkedIn and Facebook. It's a safe, secure environment with professional people who are going to support you and your posts to help you get more clients or just to get your name out there. Guys, thank you so much for jumping on the show. Thank you for everyone watching, and we'll see you next time on Bobby's Business Club, the Chat Show Live. See you soon, guys.